All right, so just a quick reset. Reset, what do I mean by reset? Reset, every once in a while, things don't seem to be getting as much traction as they should, or you hit some roadblocks, or you kind of feel down, you have a down day, you have a cloudy day, so to speak, and it seems like the sun's never gonna come out again. It's still up there, it's behind the clouds, but like we can't see through the clouds sometimes. Sometimes it's just, it's like the rays just can't penetrate those clouds and they can't get through to you. And we definitely need the sunlight in order to exist. That's where we get our vitamin D from. So it's really just, it's a fact of life. Like our biology requires that we have that to exist. And so it's difficult on those dark days to see through that, to see like our future, our brighter day. And so on today, I'm going to give you some things to think about on days like this, because Mama said there'll be days like this, and these days too shall pass, but we have to see through that. And so because of the way that we sometimes fall back on these old disempowering like beliefs that we have in our head that we're not thinking of, like we need to question those things when they come up, and sometimes we're not conscious of those things, so we just keep on letting that program run like on an old computer. You need to update the software. So a few things I want to start off with. First, you have to give yourself the ability to forgive yourself. You have to allow that. You have to say, hey, listen, you know what? I'm sorry for being down, or I apologize for whatever. Acknowledge whatever it is that you're feeling, and then let's move forward. Okay? So the acknowledgement is key, because it's not, you shouldn't feel shame or guilt for feeling a particular way. Just acknowledge it, understand why it's there, and then let's move forward. So that's really key, because a lot of people don't do this. This is one of the reasons why I do the 6-phase meditation by Vishen Lakhiani. It's one of the things that's on there is his forgiveness piece. And he talks about it as it relates to other people, but the way that I interpret it is often I need to apologize to myself first for the way that I'm doing something. So it's not that I'm not wrongdoing other people on any given day or upset with somebody else on any given day, but I know that it all comes back to me because it's all under my control. So I believe that's step 3. Anyways, so forgive yourself and others while still, this is key, okay? Because we're not sulking, okay? But while still holding yourself accountable to your goals, your standards, and most importantly, your next action. So it's not that I'm going to be like, oh, woe is me, sitting there like Eeyore, okay? I got to get back to being Pooh Bear and going after that honey, basically, that makes me happy, okay? There's something sweet in your life that you like, that drives you, and there's something that gives you joy, and you need to get back to that. The thing is, like, a lot of people aren't aware of what that joy is in their life, the thing that kind of empowers them. So there's a lot of different technologies out there that will help you discover what that is. Dan Millman has one. I believe there's Sparketypes is another one. But then you can go more like analytical side, like StrengthsFinder is another thing. So understanding these things helps you understand how to get back to your center. Most people don't know what their center is, so it's difficult when we say reset. Reset to where? They don't even know where the starting point is. So that makes it difficult, and honestly, it makes everything more difficult because you're not sure where that is. The other thing too is, as you're resetting, you need to reset and refocus, but you need to understand that you got to be taking care of kind of business as you go through that process, which means you need to be focusing on your breathing. That brings a whole new level of consciousness to a situation and the ability to move forward. Now, focus on your breathing on top of making sure that your food is on point and regular and healthy for you. That's key, healthy for you. And also that your hydration is on point. It is so easy to fall back on hydration, not to mention your electrolytes. So that's a whole nother discussion, but it's all part of this discussion. So I'm gonna try to get this under 10 minutes, which is always difficult for me. The next thing is, okay, now that you've reset or refocused, you need to also make sure that you know what the focus it is. So the focus, is whatever it is that your goal is, hold that image of the realization of that goal, of your highest vision in your mind's eye, and then actually experience that through all of your senses, deeply, truly. What does that mean? That means, like, if you're not just seeing it, you got to feel it. You have to sense it. You have to taste it. You have to smell it, okay? You need to use this, make this a sensory type of thing, and then that experience kind of brings that to life more. It's not about delayed gratification, it's about understanding gratification in advance. So this is where a lot of people get it backwards. A lot of people are like, oh, I see that person, they're really good at delaying gratification. No, they're really good at experiencing gratification in advance of it. And that's what it's when people say, oh, you gotta love the process. You don't really have to love the process. You have to understand how to experience the joy of the success throughout the process. That's what it means. That's what enjoy the process means. That's where people get confused. And that's how people like doing the work, because they know where this is taking them. Because when you succeed, you're only there for a moment anyway, and then it's boom, on to the next. So why limit yourself to the joy only for that moment? I mean, experience it the entire way. That's way better. And then that way you get more joy and happiness out of it, which is what you're after anyway. The next thing is knowing that you can do it. Okay, you have to know that you can do it. This is going to get me into another thing really quick, but through the belief in consistent improvement expressed through the emotional, physical, mental, and social effort or development. But you have to do that. You have to know it. Now, here's one of the things I was listening to the other day in a podcast. This guy was talking about the 8 Ps. I think it was on the Good Life Project podcast. He was talking about plan. You have to have a plan. Because you need to know kind of where you're planning on heading. You have to have a purpose. You have to know like your why. You have to know the people that you're going to surround yourself with. He had 5 people. I won't even get into that, but you have to have people around you that have specific tasks, specific jobs, and then they stick to that. You have to understand the possibility, which means you need to believe that you can actually achieve it. You have to have proof basically in your mind that you've seen that it's possible for you to do that because other people have done that you respect or that you believe in or that are similar to you. The next thing he was talking about is you have to have progress, consistent progress, and this is where tracking comes in, because you can see that progress and then you believe even more, and it kind of is a self-fulfilling prophecy. You have to personally pledge to yourself that you're going to do it. This is really helpful because then you've made a stake in the ground. I'm gonna do this, boom. Your body likes to be consistent, your brain likes to be consistent, so you set it, you're gonna try and force yourself to do it. Practice, you have to have a daily practice of actually doing this stuff and working on it. And then, that's the last one, is that practice. So those are the 8 Ps, but he went through them. They all make sense. It's all really simple to do. So that gets into the 3 things I like to talk about is you have to view it, meaning you have to see the possibilities, see the goal, see all of that stuff, the opportunity. Then you need to do it, obviously, through a plan, through your action, through your daily practice. And then you need to review it. So it's view it, do it, review it. And when you review it, you have to see like what worked, what didn't work, what am I gonna do to change this, what am I gonna do to optimize this. That's how you actually get there. The next thing that I want to talk about is you need to ask questions, okay? When you're trying to reset and refocus, you need to be asking questions. Asking questions is so huge because you don't want to just blindly go about doing something. There's a time to be a soldier, there's a time to be a leader, and you definitely need to have a little bit of leadership in your own life. Now, the next thing is strengthen your faith on a daily basis. I'm not saying this spiritually or religiously. I'm saying to strengthen your faith, and I mean, listen, if you're gonna try and do something that's like really, really difficult or that's kind of a huge challenge, you're gonna have to believe in things that you can't see. Meaning, you're gonna have to believe that something's possible and you can do it. In order to do that, you have to believe in things that have physically not shown up yet, and that's where people get confused on that delayed gratification. That's not delayed gratification. Again, it's experiencing it in advance of it showing up physically. Now, the other thing that I shared the other day, I'm gonna roll through 10 of them, are the 10 things that if you do consistently, you bring into your daily practice that is gonna be massively helpful for you. One, it's understanding what the best practices are for everything. Know what the best practices are that you need to have in life. Get really good on decision making. Understand better healthy habits and rituals. Number 4, how to study the best, being the best, like Myers-Briggs type stuff, or Jim Quick. The next thing is reading comprehension and speed, like Jim Quick does. Getting good at skill acquisition, like Tim Ferriss does. Goals and planning, your values, beliefs, and principles. Organization and execution. Your training, your development. Getting clear on communication. And then the last one is the obstacle feedback opportunity loop, getting really good on that. Now, if you practice those things, you will achieve success, and today will be a great day to be refocused, reset, and revitalized. Have a great day, and I know you feel better.